Virgo, you felt it, haven't you? That pressure in your chest that won't go away. That strange tension in your body, like something big is about to happen. But no one around you seems to feel it. That's because they're not you. You're a Virgo, the most energetically sensitive sign of the zodiac. You feel shifts before they're even visible. You hear the whispers of the universe before others even notice the silence. And right now, the universe isn't whispering, it's warning. From May 25th to May 31st, you are being placed inside a karmic fire. This isn't just another week. This is your checkpoint, your soul review, your final test. If you pass, you move forward into a 7-year cycle of purpose, alignment, wealth, and peace. But if you fail, you stay stuck in a loop of confusion, emotional exhaustion, and repeating the same pain until 2032. Let that sink in. This is bigger than love, bigger than money, bigger than your job. This is your destiny on the line. Have you been asking, why do I keep attracting the same toxic people? Why do I feel like I'm working so hard but nothing changes? Why do I feel invisible, even when I'm doing everything right? Because this week, you'll get the answers. But they won't come softly, they'll come through tests. 3 of them to be exact. 3 karmic traps that are designed to see if you've really learned what your soul came here to master. One will test your boundaries, one will test your emotions, and one will test your devotion to your future. And the truth is, most people will fail. Most will choose comfort over growth. Most will repeat. Most will stay stuck. But you didn't find this message by accident. You are one of the few Virgos being called to rise. So stay with me until the end. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the 3 karmic traps that will appear between May 25th to 31st. The signs that will try to wake you up before it's too late. What happens if you ignore these cosmic warnings, and how to pass this final test, and finally walk into the life you've been asking for. This is your moment of truth, Virgo. You can't afford to be half awake anymore. You can't ignore your intuition this time. Comment this below if you're ready. I choose to rise, I will pass my test. Let's begin. Virgo. From May 25th to May 31st, something rare and spiritually charged is taking place in the sky above you. A rare, energetic cross is forming, a moment of tension and truth between 3 powerful forces. Saturn, the planet of karma and soul, contracts Mercury, your ruling planet, the messenger of thoughts, words, and clarity. Neptune, the dreamweaver, ruler of illusion, deception, and divine insight. And when these 3 celestial giants interact, they don't whisper, they reveal. They form what astrologers call a cosmic mirror, a sacred alignment where the universe reflects everything back to you. Every intention you've ever set, every word you've ever spoken, every truth you've ignored, every mask you've worn, it all returns. Not to punish you, but to give you one final chance to face it, feel it, and free yourself from it. This is why you've been feeling off lately. You've probably asked yourself, why am I so drained, even when I sleep? Why am I overthinking things from the past? Why do I feel like something big is building up, but I can't explain it? Because it is. The cosmos are clearing the fog from your life, Virgo. The lies you've been telling yourself, the people who keep draining your energy, the habits that delay your destiny. All of it is being highlighted now, and not just mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's a karmic final exam. And the questions aren't written in ink, they're written in your triggers, your fears, and your reactions. Every moment from May 25th to May 31st is a test of how much you've truly healed, or how much you're still pretending not to see. This cosmic mirror is intense, because it magnifies what's real and burns away what isn't. That's why conversations may suddenly turn heavy. That's why people from your past may suddenly reappear. That's why your dreams may start revealing things you've tried to forget. It's not chaos, it's clarity in disguise. Because Mercury wants you to speak your truth, Saturn wants you to honor your lessons, and Neptune wants to see if you'll break free from illusion or stay stuck in fantasy. So when the universe holds up this mirror and asks, "Are you ready to step into your highest self?" your answer will shape the next 7 years of your life. This is your spiritual checkpoint, Virgo, and how you respond to this alignment will determine if you rise or repeat. Virgo, this is where things get serious. The week ahead is not just about energy shifts or cosmic symbols, it's about tests, and not the kind you can prepare for with notes and flashcards. These are soul tests, tests that come disguised as everyday moments, tests that determine whether you break free or stay stuck until 2032. Let's dive into the 3 karmic traps that the universe is setting before you. Trap number 1. Repeating the same pattern with the same person. This is the most seductive trap. Someone from your past may reappear. A smooth talker, a manipulator, a familiar voice with familiar lies. They'll say things like, "I've changed. I miss you. Let's just talk." And your heart? It may flutter, because it remembers the highs, even if it ignored the pain. But here's the truth. If it drained you the first time, it will destroy you the second time. This is the universe asking, have you learned, or are you still addicted to the cycle? If you say yes again, Virgo, you seal your fate into another 7-year karmic loop. Don't do it. Don't sacrifice your peace just to avoid loneliness. Don't confuse comfort with compatibility. This time you must say, "I love myself too much to go backwards." Trap number 2. Avoiding the emotion. This trap is quiet, but just as dangerous. You'll feel waves of emotion this week. Tears will rise out of nowhere. Anger will come for no reason. You'll feel tired, triggered, tense, and your instinct? To numb it, ignore it, stay busy, scroll endlessly, pretend you're fine. But listen carefully. Buried emotion is buried karma. And if you suppress what your soul is trying to release, that energy will stay trapped in your spirit until 2032. Let it out, Virgo. Cry without shame. Scream into a pillow. Take a solo walk and feel what you've been afraid to touch. Because what you feel, you can heal. What you ignore only grows stronger. This is not weakness. This is your soul detoxing. So when the emotion hits, don't run, don't numb. Let it move through you. Because if you don't feel it now, you'll be reliving it again and again for years. And you deserve better than that. Virgo. This one cuts deeper than any relationship, because this trap doesn't come from outside of you. It comes from you. You made a promise, didn't you? Maybe it was the night you cried yourself to sleep and swore, "I'll never let myself go through this again." Maybe it was that one moment of clarity when you said, "I'm starting that business. I'm finally moving on. I'm choosing me." It was real. It was raw. And in that moment, you meant it with your whole heart. But here you are, hesitating, second-guessing, doubting your timing, convincing yourself that maybe next week is better. But Virgo, there is no next week. Not for this promise, not for this test. Because this is your karmic checkpoint. This is the moment when the universe watches what you do, not what you say. This is when delay becomes disobedience. This is when hesitation becomes spiritual sabotage. Here's the truth. Inaction is not neutral. Inaction is also a choice. When you stall, you send a message to the universe. I'm not ready. I don't believe I deserve it yet. I choose comfort over courage. And guess what happens then? The portal closes. The momentum dies. The opportunities evaporate. Not forever, but for a long time. And for you, Virgo, that delay could last until 2032. You're not just delaying a task, you're delaying a timeline, a purpose, a version of yourself that's been trying to emerge for years. Every time you break your own promise, your spirit dims a little more, and eventually you stop trusting yourself entirely. But this week, you have a choice. a divine window. A portal is open, Virgo, and what you do between May 25th and May 31st will determine whether you walk through it or watch it disappear. So ask yourself, what did I promise myself that I'm still avoiding? What fear is standing between me and my next level? What would my life look like if I followed through fully? This is your moment. No more stalling, no more later, no more breaking your own heart just to avoid change. Make the call, send the email, start the project, close the door. Say yes to the version of you who's ready to rise. Because if you don't keep your word now, the universe will assume you weren't serious. And your breakthrough, it'll wait for someone else. Virgo, the universe is not subtle during moments like these. When it's time for you to pass a karmic test, it won't knock politely. It'll break patterns, disturb your peace, shake your plans. Why? Because it's trying to wake you up. And this week, from May 25th to May 31st, you will start seeing signs. Some small, some intense, but all meaningful. So let's talk about the undeniable signs that the universe is trying to test you and help you evolve. Sign number 1, sudden arguments or emotional triggers. Especially with people you love, someone may say something that hits a nerve. A conversation you didn't expect turns into a fight. Old wounds reopen. It's not about the surface issue. It's about whether you react from wounded energy or respond from healed wisdom. Ask yourself, is this a test of my emotional maturity? Because it is. Sign number 2, repeating angel numbers, 1111, 555, 222. You'll see these numbers more than usual, on clocks, receipts, license plates, random posts. Each number has a message. 1111, a spiritual portal is open. Focus your intentions. 555, major changes are coming. Align your choices. 222, you're being called to trust your path and stay in balance. These aren't just fun spiritual signs, they are checkpoints. Pause when you see them, tune in, ask, what was I just thinking about? What am I being shown right now? Sign number 3, tech glitches, missed calls, or strange dreams. Your phone randomly freezes. You miss an important text. You wake up sweating from a dream that felt too real. This is Mercury, your ruling planet, throwing divine curveballs. It's not about the glitch, it's about how you respond to the disruption. Dreams, especially, are important this week. Keep a journal next to your bed. You may receive guidance that your conscious mind is too busy to hear. Sign number 4, your intuition is louder than usual, but you keep brushing it off. That gut feeling when someone texts you, that inner voice telling you to take a different route, that sense that someone's energy just feels off, don't ignore it this week, because your intuition is your compass. And if you silence it, you walk right into the trap. These signs are not random. They are not spiritual spam. They are soul signals. Each one is a checkpoint. Every time one of these signs appears, ask yourself, what is the lesson here? Because from May 25th to May 31st, every moment is either a trap or a turning point, and only those who stay spiritually awake will recognize the difference. Part 4. What happens if you fail the test? Virgo, let's have a real moment. What if you don't pass this test? What if, between May 25th and May 31st, you brush off the signs, ignore your gut, and fall for the karmic traps again? What happens if you say yes to the wrong person, say no to your own dreams, and avoid the emotions that are begging to be released? Here's the truth. Your energy gets stuck in a lower loop. You wake up, but feel heavy. You try to move forward, but you're emotionally dragging a boulder behind you. You start second-guessing even the things you were once sure about. You're not lazy or unmotivated. You're stuck in energetic mud. You start doubting yourself again. That self-trust you were rebuilding, gone. You'll feel like you can't rely on your own intuition anymore. You'll keep asking others what you should do, and they'll give you the wrong answers. Because when you're disconnected from your higher self, you attract confusion like a magnet. The wrong people stay, and the right people drift. This one hurts the most. Instead of leveling up and attracting people who match your healed energy, you stay in rooms that shrink you. You stay in relationships that mirror your pain, not your power. You'll watch aligned soulmates pass you by, not because you're unworthy, but because you weren't vibrating at their level yet. Your goals feel harder to reach. Ideas? You'll have them. Excitement? It'll spark for a moment. But when you try to build, it'll feel like walking uphill in a thunderstorm. That's because the universe only fuels aligned action, not delay, not fear, not hesitation. If you're out of alignment, everything feels like a battle. You feel spiritually disconnected. Meditation won't hit the same. Signs and synchronicities will slow down. Your dreams will become cloudy. You'll feel like your angels went silent, but they didn't. You just tuned out. Because when you ignore spiritual truth, you lose spiritual access. But here's the most critical part. You enter a 7-year cycle of delay. 7 years. That's how long it takes for the stars to align in this same way again. This is your karmic checkpoint. And if you choose the comfortable path instead of the aligned one, the portal closes. You'll try to move forward, but the progress will be slow, frustrating, and painful. Because the previous chapter was never closed. That's the spiritual law. The universe won't open the next door until you prove you're done with the last one. So, Virgo, ask yourself right now, have I truly closed the chapter I say I'm done with? Am I ready to pass the test, or am I still afraid to let go? Because this is not a theory. This is a decision with 7 years of consequences. Choose wisely. Part 5. What happens if you pass the test? Virgo, now let's flip the script. Let's talk about what happens when you don't fold under pressure, when you recognize the test for what it is, and you pass it with presence, power, and intention. Because if you do, the universe doesn't just pat you on the back. It promotes you. It moves mountains in your favor. It opens doors you didn't even know existed. It realigns your entire life to match the version of you who finally chose growth. Let's break it down. You'll feel clarity for the first time in years. The fog will lift. You'll wake up feeling lighter. Suddenly, the things that used to confuse you will make sense. You won't keep asking, "What's wrong with me?" Because the answer will be clear. Nothing's wrong. You were just trapped in an old cycle. And now, you're free. A single decision will unlock a divine breakthrough. You'll make a bold move, maybe a conversation, a career change, a boundary, and it will cause a chain reaction. Synchronicities will flood in. Opportunities will find you. Things that once felt impossible will start falling into place quickly. Because when you show up in your truth, the universe responds in kind. The right people will appear fast. Once you pass this test, your energetic frequency shifts, and suddenly you're no longer available for half-hearted connections. You'll attract people who respect your boundaries, soulmates who match your growth, mentors who accelerate your purpose, and spiritual allies who see you. They were always there, waiting for you to rise to their level. Your manifestations will accelerate. Why? Because you're no longer leaking energy on the wrong things. You're no longer manifesting from fear. You're manifesting from alignment. And when your energy matches your desires, the universe says yes without hesitation. You'll feel in sync with your intuition again. That quiet voice inside you, it gets loud. Signs become more frequent. You feel guided, protected, and divinely connected. You stop questioning every step and start trusting the process. This is your reward for trusting the process. Virgo, this is your graduation moment. The test you're facing between May 25th and May 31st is not punishment. It's proof that the universe sees your potential and wants to promote you. If you pass this test, you'll enter a new 7-year cycle of wealth, financial flow rooted in purpose, love, connections that nourish your soul, alignment, daily life that reflects who you really are. Divine purpose, living from your soul, not your survival. But none of this is automatic. You have to earn it. By making the hard decisions, by facing the truth, by acting with courage instead of fear. The portal is open. Step through it boldly. Part 6. The ritual to pass the karmic test. May 25th to 31st is your final exam, but the universe has also given you the answer key, and it's called ritual. Virgo, energy alone won't get you through this week. You need intention. You need action. You need to meet the universe halfway. That's where this sacred 7-night ritual comes in. From May 25th to May 31st, you are entering a spiritual initiation, a portal of transformation that will either free your soul or keep it stuck in a cycle until 2032. So, every night, without fail, do this. Step 1. Light a white candle. White represents clarity, truth, and purification. By lighting it, you are signaling to the universe, I am ready to see clearly. I am ready to burn away what no longer serves me. Place it in a safe space, preferably near your bed or altar. Let it glow as you move through the rest of the ritual. Step 2. Speak these words out loud. There is power in spoken intention. Say this slowly, with conviction. I close the door to my past. I choose healing, truth, and forward motion. I pass this test with divine strength. I am ready to rise. These aren't just words, they are an activation. Speak them from your heart, even if your voice shakes. Step 3. Journal. This one question. Each night. Take a notebook or journal and write this at the top. What karmic pattern am I done with? Now let your truth flow. It could be letting people disrespect my boundaries, staying silent to keep the peace, settling for less because I'm afraid to be alone, avoiding change even when I know it's right. Whatever it is, write it, because what you write, you release. What you name, you claim power over. This journaling is not just for reflection, it's for reprogramming. Step 4. Sleep with a clear quartz. Under your pillow, clear quartz is the master amplifier. It boosts clarity, protects your energy, and sharpens intuition. Place it under your pillow while you sleep. It will help you process emotions, receive guidance through dreams, wake up with more insight than when you went to bed. If you don't have clear quartz, a piece of selenite or amethyst will also work beautifully. What this ritual does. This isn't about candles and crystals, it's about alignment. Every night you do this, you tell the universe, I'm serious, I'm ready. I will not repeat. I am choosing my next chapter, consciously. This ritual grounds your energy, anchors your intention, and creates a vibrational signature that matches your future, not your past. So Virgo, light the flame, speak your truth, write your release, sleep in clarity, and watch the universe move in your favor. Virgo, take a breath, because what you just heard wasn't entertainment, it was your wake-up call. This isn't just another week on the calendar, this isn't just another astrology video, this is your karmic checkpoint. May 25th to May 31st is not normal time. It's a spiritual countdown, a cosmic deadline, and a once-in-7 years opportunity to either checkmark evolve into the next version of yourself, or X-mark, repeat everything that's already broken you. You've been stuck long enough, haven't you? You've carried the weight of unspoken pain. You've made excuses for people who never showed up. You've buried your power to make others comfortable, and you've waited and waited and waited. But the waiting is over. This is the week the universe asks, do you want your future, or do you want your fear? You can't have both. The portal is open, but it's not staying open. And the choices you make over the next 7 days will ripple through your timeline until 2032. Let that sink in. 7 years of either expansion or delay. 7 years of either growth or regret. You already know what needs to be done. You already know who needs to go. You already know what promise you've been avoiding. Now is the time to act, not next week, not after Mercury retrograde, now. Because if you don't rise, you'll repeat. And the next version of your life will look just like the one you're praying to escape. So here's your divine instruction. Comment this below right now. I choose to rise. I will pass my karmic test. Subscribe and hit the bell. Because Virgo, this is just the beginning. More spiritual upgrades, cosmic messages, and divine portals are coming. And if this message found you, it means you were chosen to hear it. You are not here to live a recycled life. You are not here to shrink, suffer, or settle. You were born to evolve. You were born to break patterns that have plagued your bloodline for generations. You were born to rise and to never look back. So, Virgo, the test has begun. The signs are appearing. The mirror is in front of you. Will you pass it or repeat the pain? The choice is in your hands, and the universe is watching.